an arc with the name of Gintama's most controversial character in the title, the idol who constantly uses gross out and or edgy humor as her entire persona, isn't an entry I presumed would derive such a thoroughly enjoyable time out of me. But damn, did Sriracha cook. It's odd that I say that too, because the pacing is, on paper, terrible. It's adapting 7 chapters and 7 episodes, so you'd think this would be some One Piece level padding here, but it actually wasn't bad because unlike One Piece padding, they don't drag it out and make it unbearable to watch. They just put an intro segment, which is actually pretty funny, but I'm not even including that in the review. I don't know if I did that differently before, but that's what I'm doing now, and from here on out. Anyway, Otu Quest is probably the arc that has blown me away the most so far, containing episodes that start off being, well, below average, but exponentially escalate into a masterclass in entertainment. Be that from some seriously well thought out jokes to a whiplash-inducing emotional payoff to finalize this piece of the story. I'm Kazu Trash, and welcome to my review of the Otu Quest arc. Toshi, Hijikata's other personality, spawning from a cursed sword, appears to have re-emerged once more for the first time in 50 episodes. But this time, Hijikata's life isn't in danger. In fact, the otaku seems to no longer have much control at all over the Vice Chief. At least, certainly not enough to forcibly take over his body as we'd seen in the past. During these recent few months, though, the swordsman would attempt diligently to rid himself of Toshi, but this spirit's soul constantly refused to allow that light to burn out. Hijikata needed him gone. Though he had regained control of himself, repressing this personality was eating away at him daily, and any longer would surely affect his sanity. So why hasn't Toshi let go yet? Well, similar to the Ghost Ryokan arc, like I've mentioned already, Toshi could be considered a spirit, or I guess a stand, with an especially strong regret tying him down to this world, disallowing him the ability of moving on, grounding his soul to the mortal plane in the form of a cursed sword of unknown origin. Toshi, like any other spirit, seeks to do away with his regrets and achieve peace within himself. To accomplish this, Toshi desired to prove he truly existed, and only upon completing this task would his cursed soul finally be free. It was around this point Oedo idol Otsu began a tournament, or quest, for fans to partake in, with the first place reward being to incorporate the winners as her official fan club. This would be Toshi's way out, so Hijikata decided to cooperate with his other personality to achieve this goal. With the Shinsengumi assisting his efforts, how difficult could this task truly be? I mean, on paper it seems pretty easy. The only other competition would be shut-ins and neats. Only, besides them, there's one more person they need to account for. The only Edoites who could possibly rival the devotion of a master otaku would be yet another master otaku. That's right, we're talking about Shinpachi. And so begins the Otu Quest, kicking things off with some of the crudest jokes in Gintama yet. At the ceremony, as a way of dissuading the competition, Gin's group gets on stage, hijack the mic, and proclaim Shinpachi's ability to consume... Okay, get ready for this! To consume 8 whole plates of Otsu's shit. One good thing, this is the lowest point in the arc. It doesn't get any worse than this, okay? In fact, every single episode after this is exponentially better than the last. So let's get into it. After that hardly tolerable 2 minutes, the first part of this battle royale was a 10-kilometer race. With the race underway, Takachin, Shinpachi's friend who's also in the fan club, would be hit by a car mid-race, soon revealed to be Sogo utilizing foul play to his full advantage. This was bad, like seriously bad, because if one person is knocked out or is labeled unable to continue, then your team is out of the race, leading to a hilarious moment with Yamazaki suspiciously observing a clearly passed out Takachin being dragged along the road by a panicking Gin and Shin, his unconscious body collecting different items, escalating to the damn Grim Reaper. So Gin rushes to the hospital to hopefully get him treated, and soon arrives back freakishly fast with Takachin. Only this was not Takachin, no, this was some American dude, I can only presume. This is Takachin, which isn't actually his real name. That's 100% what Gin just thought Takachin's name was. This guy carried. So Gin found this Hulk Hogan look-alike somewhere along the way to the hospital, and in that short amount of time struck a deal with him to pose as Takachin. Here are the terms. 1 hour, 10,000 yen. 2 hours, 20,000 yen. 3 hours, 3 loaves of French bread. 4 hours, 4 loaves of French bread. And what is 10,000 yen? Like, what is it, like 13 bucks? French bread price. Yeah, let's check it at Walmart. $147 Canadian. Okay. Okay, he may be getting scammed. In any case, let me highlight how much this man right here, carried the comedy, because that cannot be understated. Takatsuki is a blessing on this arc, and every time he's on screen, it's enough to make me burst out laughing, because I know he's either 1, gonna bust out one of his signature English one-liners, 2, display his surprisingly great relationship with Gin, especially in their awesome handshake. I genuinely do love this relationship, though. This is honestly the most friendly I've ever seen Gin be with someone. 3, when he accidentally answers everything correctly in the game show segment of the quest. And 4, French bread. I'm probably not even doing him justice with this narration because he's just that good. Throughout the race, Hijikata was able to display one of the main reasons he has the position of vice chief. Aside from his obvious strength in battle, his intelligence in war. Toshiro would showcase his ability to command a massive group of unruly NEETs and transform them into a scarily loyal and quick-to-learn army. They even memorized different formations to counter Shinpachi in a pretty badass manner. I love how this scene is presented like an actual war, with the apparent group of sweaty nerds morphing into soldiers upon Hijikata's simple but intimidating formation. Genbu. Aside from that, there's some great small moments over the course of these 7 episodes from Hijikata, like his hilarious disgust in Otsu's double peace sign, that just hammer in that this kind of competition is going against everything Hijikata stands for. Because Otsu is more of a main character in this arc, we receive a lot more of her dialogue, and you know what that means. More cringeworthy Otsu suffixes, also known as the lowest hanging fruit Sorachi has to pick from. But aside from that, I think this part of the story actually succeeded in making Otsu appear way more endearing and likable than her previous appearances. Besides the episode with her dad, of course. Yeah, she's still the crude idol we know, but like with Hijikata, there's a bunch more subtle details that I love to see. Like her getting embarrassed during the ceremony scene, her funny, absolute hatred for Kondo, her calmly dodging the debris thrown by the crowd, her cutely putting her foot down when the game suggested going to a love hotel, and most of all, her plead for Shinpachi and Toshi to stop fighting. More on that in a bit though. Next up, the whose line is it anyway scenarios had me dying the whole way through, from both sides, cooking up some insane jokes with perfect payoffs. The Susengumis ridiculously devolved into a Studio Ghibli debate, initiated by Sogo as the narrator. Oh, by the way, apparently Studio Ghibli enjoyers in Japan are called Gibblers? They're called Gibblers! That is the most goofiest thing I've ever heard of. As for Shin's group, the freaking narrator becomes a character in Gin's story and is later dubbed Neri, and it still manages to hit that emotional stride they were going for. Next, we have the final stage of the official fan club battle, where the groups are asked to participate in a card battle with lifelike simulations. This blatantly obvious Yu-Gi-Oh! Parody nails the feel of the classic card game, and has a ton of heart poured into its creation by Sorachi. I've never watched or played Yu-Gi-Oh! As a kid, but every time a new card was played and something new was revealed, that dread or excitement got me so hyped up. Bagwagoning off of that, the twists in this game were nuts. They went so crazy with these twists, and Sorachi, this is what I mean, Sorachi cooks, man! They had me so damn engaged that I was seriously really rooting for her band members to get back together. And oh, dude, and once that mystery investigation card was in play, oh man, that was crazy! It was genuinely cathartic to witness Kim and Kiyoshi make up and obliterate Hijikata in what I can only describe as a scene akin to Scott Pilgrim's battle against the twins. Absolutely killer episode. After Hijikata allowed Toshi's takeover in desperation, the otaku played a card to negate all cards in play, leaving the two men by themselves in the ring. No holograms, just them and their boxing gloves. This part blew me out of the water. Every punch was animated with some of the most brutal and impactful set of frames I've ever bore witness to. Both sides exchanging concussive blows to the other, one after another, both refusing to back down on their ideals. It was in this moment of pure adrenaline that Toshi would realize what he truly desired. It wasn't to become the top otaku or anything like that. No, this fierce, blazing hot existence is what Toshi had needed. All his life, Toshi had been engrossed in consuming any form of otaku media he could, having his head stuck inside a book, a screen, or even a fan club, leading to a life of never truly being in the moment. Could that even be considered existence? Emotionally, this battle officially ends in a draw, with both sides knocking each other out at the exact same time. In reality though, this was Toshi's true death. ascending past the mortal realm in an emotional blaze of glory, finally laying Toshi to rest and freeing Hijikata of his burden. What an absolute gem Otsu Quest became. In a way, this arc perfectly encapsulates everything that is Gintama. Be it from its not-so-great potty humor to its masterful setup and payoff of countless jokes, fantastic characterization, as well as that classic Gintama surprise emotional whiplash to close us out. While it's in no way a perfect arc, I think the enjoyment that can be derived from this is something that speaks for itself, and it's a great addition to Gintama's set of stellar arcs. I honestly believe that without the, rather gross jokes, we had the potential of seeing a 10 out of 10 arc here, or at least really close to that. But because of those, it really drags it down. So I think I'll drop it at around an 8. How about that? Is an 8 good? I don't know. It's hard to rank these comedy arcs, but I think an 8 will suffice here. I will say I think it is the highest 8 so far, though. The lowest, or the second highest now would be Infant Strife, and then the one above that would be Benny Zakura. I don't think it's better than Benny Zakura. That arc was just nutty, but I need a cool outro, like Stay Trash or Kazu Out. I don't know. Anyway, bye.